way, I'm Gary Orcam Oliver Magma Ichabod the Deceiver. But my friends just call me Goomi for short.
Goomi is one of the new characters in Minions and Monsters, and we draw him today in 4 different styles. Let's start off with the neon effect. For those of you who have a problem doing the neon style, if you do a nice little outline across this whole thing, it really helps you to be able to identify where your lines are after you pop on the Posca marker here. But make sure you give it a good shake so that way all of your paint will just flow out a heck of a lot easier. Now, as you can see, after all this dried, you can still see the pencil work underneath, and that's where we're going to layer in our line work. And I like to use a Posca sometimes just to identify the line work, because then when we go over with our brush paint pens, we get a much smoother application of color across the whole image. And after we establish where all of our paint pens are going to lay down and what colors we're going to use, I always like to reapply the central color again after all the paint is dried, just to pop in that center color. I do my neon effects a little bit differently. Some people like to do 2. In this case, I'm actually going to do 3 colors and also add just a little drop of white in little specks, because this gives it more of like those old school neon fluorescent tube effects rather than just a big glowing band. But now let's head on over to the cracked style. And I haven't done cracked in quite a while, and honestly, the way this came out coloring, it came out really cool. And what the effect is, essentially, we want to make this look like it's cracked stone. So we're going to carve away, in a sense, the recess areas and then color in everything else. Now you can do this cartoony way, or as you're going to see here, I'm going to do a little bit of a semi-realistic way. I'm going to add a little bit of color, but I'm also going to keep it darker around the edges because, well, that's where the most stress to the image would be, so that's how we're going to naturally make it darker. Now, before we get too far into this section, if you can please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe button so you never miss out on another piece. It's one of my favorite things that I like to do, is transform all of these characters in fun new ways, and to do that, I need your help by once again smashing that like button and subscribe button. Now, when we add all of our little cracked effects here, you can add as many or as little as you like. That's one of the cool things I like about this effect. It really leaves it up to the artistic interpretation. So if you want to add just big, funky, bold cracks with like a Posca marker and you want to have it cartoony, cool. But if you really want to make it look like chipped stone and be kind of semi-realistic as I'm doing here, well then add a bunch of little spindly spiderweb crack marks. But we're also going to want to finish up with a little bit of drop shadow underneath all of these crack marks. The reason being is we want to once again make it look like a recessed image, and this gives it spatial depth. Now that we've finished cracking Goomi, we're going to make him look realistic. And honestly, when I started to look at this thing, I noticed that the realistic side didn't look as realistic as what the cracked side looked. Maybe that's because I was playing with color too much. Sometimes that can happen. You overwork an image, you try to do too much, you try to make him look too translucent, because when we look at Goomi, he is very translucent looking, and so the way to do that is to add lots of little subtle layers on top of each other, and this starts out with a really painterly approach, but in the end, sometimes it can get just a little bit overworked. But despite all that and some of my hesitation with my color choices, overall I still kind of like it. It just not was up to the expectation when I saw how much I really liked the crack style. But that's okay, because here's some tips and tricks that are still going to help you. And that is, when you're doing really translucent characters like this, you still want to work in layers. Now, if I was going to do this again, I probably would have shied away from using yellow alcohol markers. Instead, I would have done a lot of colored pencil work in those areas to bring in those subtle values of yellows and greens, etc. Another tip is, when you're working with an image like this, unless you're going for hyperrealism, it is really hard to do an entire section that is purely color pencil driven. If I were to take this entire image and try to do the whole thing, even if you're gridding it out and you know all the space, and grids are good and they're really effective, but they really don't help train the eye. If you're a commissioned artist and you're looking for something hyper realistic, then of course you're going to use a grid. but in general, I would shy away from trying to do massive color pencil work because your hands are just going to take a beating. It's a lot of stress on your hands to do color pencil work because of the fine, subtle movements that you're constantly doing, and burnishing with the pencil, which means pressing really hard. It can really just take a toll. So I like to use my color pencil work for highlights and super smooth final details. But now we're going to make this thing look super creepy. Now, much like the last video, I'm going to be working with a really loose sketch. I just want to kind of throw in where all the tendrils are. I'm really going for Pirates of the Caribbean Davy Jones's look. I want this thing to be really Cthulhu-made manifest. So what we're going to do is primarily focus on the inking. I'm going to use the ink brush to really showcase where all the tendrils are, but also as they wrap around the form. So you see these like subtle flicking motions that I'm doing. That's to showcase how each tentacle is wrapping around the form and to establish the darkest darks. This thing is going to be very comic book style driven. It's going to have that feel, at least for me, more of like the darker DC style with really saturated colors and darks and heavy ink driven aspect. That's one of the things that I really love about DC artists. They do some of the most amazing inking that you will ever see. They just can strike a pose and an emotion. It's almost captivating how well, when you look at some really great inking from some of the best DC artists out there, it's just, yeah, like it just hits an emotion. I just can't explain it, but I'll show images across the screen and you'll kind of understand what I mean. And speaking of comic book DC, but now we're going to pivot more to the Marvel section. Do you want to see me draw Peter Parker or Spider-Man from the new Spider-Man movie that's about to come out at the end of July? Let me know in the comments, because I know I always try to do what my community loves, and I like to see what they want to see me do specifically. So just let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because maybe I could draw Peter Parker and Mary Jane in like 8 different styles. That'd be really cool to do a Tom Holland Zendaya drawing. It might be a lot, but it'll definitely be fun. So let me know if that's something that you want to see. Punching in these last minute dark blacks with acrylic paint pens, and we're going to call this thing complete. Which side was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video.